Vietnam People's Armed Forces. The Vietnam People's Armed Forces (VPAF) are the armed forces of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. It consists of three components: the People's Army of Vietnam, which is the military forces of Vietnam; Vietnam People's Public Security, which is the police and law enforcement of Vietnam; and Vietnam Self-Defense Militia, which is the militia of Vietnam. People's Army of Vietnam. The People's Army of Vietnam, Vietnamese, Quan Doi and Han Dan Vietnam, is the Army of Vietnam. The PAVN includes the Vietnam People's Ground Force, the Vietnam People's Navy including Naval Infantry Armed Services, the Vietnam People's Air Force, the Vietnam Border Guard, and the Vietnam Coast Guard. Vietnam People's Public Security. The Vietnam People's Public Security, Vietnamese, Con Nguyen Han Dan Vietnam, is the main police and security force of Vietnam. The People's Public Security Forces is the core force of the People's Armed Forces in performing the task of protecting national security and ensuring social order and safety, and crime prevention and control. The People's Public Security Forces has the functions, tasks, organization, command, and ensures that the operation, service regimes, and policies of the People's Police comply with the provisions of the law on people's public security and regulations of the People's Public Security, other provisions of relevant laws. The state builds a revolutionary, regular, elite, and step-by-step modernized People's Police, prioritize the modernization of some forces. The People's Public Security Forces shall coordinate with the People's Army and Militia and self-defense in performing national defense tasks. The coordination between the People's Public Security and the People's Army and Militia and self-defense shall comply with the government's regulations. Vietnam Militia and Self-Defense. The Vietnam Self-Defense Militia, Vietnamese, Dan Quan Tu V, is the militia of Vietnam. Militia and self-defense forces are mass armed forces that cannot separate from production and work, is the force protecting the party, the government, the people's lives and properties, and the state's property in the locality and grassroots, ready to fight, to serve in combat, to be the core of the fight against the enemy in the locality and grassroots when there is a war. The state builds a strong and widespread militia and self-defense force. The organization, tasks, service regime, and regimes and policies of the Vietnam militia and self-defense shall comply with the provisions of the law on militia and self-defense and other relevant laws. External links